Fire, what you saying?
Yes, life is great.
we we are here again, Ballhead and the Drip. We give thanks for everyone tuning in from those times. So now, I have to remind the people, if you get free time, make sure you check us out, ineverknewtv.com. Enough reasons there. Also, I Never Knew Radio, WLOI.org. We are spinning roots rock, reggae music, lovers rock, rock steady. No dance hall, no derogatory music. If that's your thing, won't find it there. Every Sunday, 9 to 11. Also, check out Far Right EP in the description, disrupting the status quo. Far Right, what we're reasoning about today?
Well, today we are reasoning about the concept of family still. Who is your family? Because a lot of times the whole concept of family get misconstrued by just somebody who is blood. And we start to neglect the ones them who really dead if we see them here. So we're gonna talk about
it. No, serious thing. Well, I won't use the word distorted. I guess say like skewed view of family, because I didn't really grow up around. I grew up around what they would call your immediate family, mother, father, grandmother. I didn't really have too much exposure consistently to extended family. I think the most cousins I hung around was my cousins in Jamaica, and obviously that was limited because I lived in the States and they lived in Jamaica. Respect to the old Mills family there in some city, Spanish Town, all right? But this concept of family and blood is really a myth, right? And I just want to say why. The family you have is by default. You didn't pick these people, right? It's just true you was born into them and you just work with the program. A lot of times, anyway, hey, a lot of times if we're truthful, right? The family that you have and the family members that you have, you would not interact with them if they were not your family. So wouldn't it be a situation like if you ran into these people in a normal vibe and you would just start dealing with these people as family members? And I think that's why the family vibe is so turmoil, because the family vibe has a religious vibe in the sense that there's a certain culture within the family. And if you don't fall within that culture now, you're automatically an outcast, or, you're not living up to the standard. And it's also very true if that family is a heavy religious family. And when I mean religious family, I don't mean practitioners of that religious of that religion. I mean the fact that they just identify with it, right? And yeah, the family vibe is very, very tricky. I think anyone with sense equates family to anyone who's they have a true friendship with, who's supportive, they've been through the ups and downs. And I just think it's a support vibe. I think it's a support vibe, and most people, if they are truthful, find what we would categorize as family outside of the family. That's why things are so popular. College is a great space for that. People who go to college, they usually find their lifelong friends in college. Gangs is a big thing. That's the family vibe. And that's why gangs are so important, because if the family structure was strong, the family that people are looking for in gangs, they wouldn't find it because they would have it already in their house. Sports is the next big thing. A lot of people find their lifelong friends through sports. All type of organizations at school, especially at those subgroups. Because what happens is, say you have after school programs, you have people who have that same interest, right? And they really bond. And I've noticed in my life, people have found their lifelong friends through that. I found my best friends through basketball, actually. And I found my wife at college, so I have a brethren that I still chill with from high school, but I don't really. The family thing is tricky. And another aspect too, man, family really struggle when you grow apart from the family ideology. Anyone who's, I think we touched on it with the Christmas vibe, anyone who's changed their eating habits, or, don't partake in the drinking or certain things now, the family, family gives you the hardest, your blood, people you grew up around, and one last thing for you jump in regards to this family thing, especially if you're a progressive person, most of the grudgefulness and hate come from family. Reason being, they can't process that you grew up in the same environment and had the same opportunities, and you're doing things that they're not doing. And also, they're very offended if you're very resilient. They know the obstacles that you face. they know the setbacks that you have faced and you're still moving forward. I find family members are very, very offended by that. Farai, please elaborate on your view uh, the concept of family versus the reality of family and your experience.
Now, reality there, man. Because as I say, by default, you end up with your family now. Which, through that, we have certain shared struggles what we are more than likely to go through, which is what can create the bond. But outside of them common struggles there, where you go through with the blood family, outside of that, it's not really much for tie the thing pan, because when me equate the concept of family to is blood family, that is the concept of blood family to is that of being a politician, right? So automatically a politician get elected, and then a politician get elected and them get a title called honorable. What did they do that was so honorable for them to get that title? So not because you're a politician means you're supposed to get the title honorable. You have to work for it, because you have to show me say you're honorable. You have to have deeds to show me say you're honorable. And at the same concept, me equate to my levels, because not because me have blood means say you will automatically honorable, or me supposed to go above and beyond for you. No, me go above and beyond for people who know say them would give the same for me. Because pan a reality still, everybody, as we say by default now, when we break that down for them too, everybody that have to come through a mother and a father. It's not like say you choose your mother and father. So by the fact say everybody have to come through a mother and father. No. It means your parents would have siblings and I saw the family tree go, and them now have youth now, and not because them have youth means you and them are up on the same page neither, because sometimes the energies them just different. Because when we think about my family per se, when me look for my family, blood family, and me look for my bridging them, I the same esteem I have them pan, because my key bridging them play a role in my development even more than a lot of people who is my blood. So the fact that them play a role in my development, me can't go look upon them and see them as no less than my family. Because just the levels where we have and the type of reasoning them where we can dive in. Me a family member where me can't go dive in them type of reasoning there with them. So what me go do, me can't blacklist my bridging them automatically and put them below that. No, I have to put them on the same level or even higher to in a certain circumstances. Because in a certain circumstances, if me need a motivation, if me need a help, if me need a strength, who you feel like I go come and do it for me now? But sometimes most people now overstand that, because you always hear them say the concept. Them always use the term where them say blood is thicker than water. But then me remember a song by William Devine where him say nothing is thicker than love. Do you see? The fact say nothing is thicker than love means say who show you love, you have to show love in a fire. Because you see, if you don't do that, you're gonna end up going to the street and you're gonna get disrespected. And then you're gonna feel like say automatically who are there for you. When the time come, them not gonna really there for you. So you have to really think wiser than that and know. So it's not just blood alone. Yeah, as I said, people have honorable and them have to work to be deemed as honorable, not because you're born in a particular bloodline means say honorable supposed to be attached to that. More than that.
Big time. And before we continue, Farai, what's the name of that William Devine album?
I think it's Be Thankful.
Be Thankful, Farai. That's a very powerful album. Anyone listening, if you like a little soul vibe, it's almost like a motivation. It is a motivation. It's a soul motivational album, right? So definitely check that out. Irie vibe. Back to this family thing, Farai. The expectation from your family also is kind of skewed. And I want to be clear too, right? As I said, I don't have that extent. I kind of deal with a very small network of people anyway. So I'm not no big expanded people. So I'll tell you straight, I'm not the best person to speak about family to start with, straight. But at the same token, I have observed many families that have that strong bond, but they have very strong patriarchs and matriarchs in the family that create that structure. A lot of families don't have a leader in a sense. They don't have a guide, and therefore it's a lot of confusion. Also, distance plays a role. Things have changed dramatically. People aren't concentrated in a particular area anymore. People all over the place, different occupations. And I think that has played a role in regards to relationships of family. But um, without that, even when family was concentrated, it's just like the issue with family. I think people don't want to acknowledge is that like, what are these people providing? Just let's get straight to the point, right? People feel obligated because it's like, oh, they're my cousin. I have to chill with them. Yes, you should meet and have a bond, but in regards within that meeting, what are the conversations like? Like what are we building? What is everyone contributing to each other? And if we're truthful, a lot of times it's actually nothing. I've been to family gatherings far, and I just gotta hold the corner and just vibe because it's like I don't know what they talking about. No disrespect to them, still that's the vibe that they on. I'm not on that vibe, but it's just like, how am I benefiting being around these people? Then there's another side too we need to touch on, man, in regards to confiding, right? People had this vibe like, oh, I can confide in my family. A lot of times you can't because all they gonna do is go carry the news. You get what I'm saying? Compared to a next brethren or a sister where, you can really confide in that person, build with that person. You're not telling all your business or that. Or something simple. I've seen this, right? Someone's in the jam, they need to stay at your place. Everybody know they staying at your place now. You cussing the fact that the person. So why you letting them stay at your place? Obviously, the person's in need. They're going through a little situation. They need a little lodging at the time, but they staying with family, and they cussing the person behind the back that they staying at their place. So don't. I think the expectation you have for your family needs to be wiped away and just accept the reality of the individual people in your family. If you have a cousin, a grandmother, aunt that's irie and supportive, you rock with them. If you have others, you accept them for that and don't feel no vibe. I think people are too let down by it's all right. It's tying to the parent thing conversation. People didn't want to hear. Like we have this expectation of family, this great bond, this support, this and that, and like it's just not the reality. Most families at war, yeah. Most most family members don't even talk to each other. If you talk to the average person right now, majority of families don't communicate. You know how many children don't talk to their parents? Like, do not talk to their parents. And you have parents that don't talk to their, you know how many siblings, it warms my heart. I tell my wife, always warms my heart when I see the father enjoying the son in adult age. And also when I hear that siblings, because most siblings don't rock with each other, yeah. Because a lot of times especially if the parents have siblings in tiers and difference in ages, the older sibling always gets the worst and the least from the parent because the parent is least skilled at parenting, right? The younger sibling seems to get more attention, more love, or more nurture because usually there's many times there are more resources there and the parent is more mature. That creates an issue. I've seen it to the point where the older sibling dislikes the offspring of the younger sibling because the grandparent gives the grandchild attention that they didn't get.
All of them things are based off of expectation.
All right. You get what I'm saying? And not over the situation saying like, yo, the parent you had at the time is not the same parent that this child's getting because the parent has grown, mentally, spiritually, economically. I think that's the biggest thing too. A lot of the stresses that the parents was under at the younger start, they don't have now. And obviously, how it goes, the child's outlet for the frustration, all those type of vibes. So yeah, in regards to the family, man, I just think that, far right, I don't think many people by default, they may not know what they're doing, but many people by default have their friend that's like a brother. My best friend, I consider my brother that died, Delani Southall. My key brethren. He's probably one of the closest people I was ever to in my life. This man from Cali, African American man, Yeah, my key brethren. And it's just like, you have people that you build with and you have a bond with. And if you're fortunate enough to even have that type of bond with a person, that type of friendship, that's the next benefit. It's a true blessing to have a real friend in your life. I remember when I went to church, when they used to send me to church early, I was like, I'll never forget this, bro. I'll never forget this, man. I'll never forget this in my life. I don't know if I was like 9 or 10, but it was this Puerto Rican dude, I forgot it, Rudy Santiago, right? Well, Puerto Rican dude in an all-black church. And you know how they have those youth gatherings? And he said something that's always stuck with me. He said, you only got to have about 2 or 3 real friends in your life. And if you have that, you're lucky. And that just always stuck with me. And it's so true. Yeah, you have all these. So how much real friends you have? How much real friends you gonna have? If you can have one real friend during your life, it's such a most. I guess technically your spouse supposed to be your real friend, but we all know that don't really work out too well. You get what I'm saying? So if you can have one or two real friends in your whole life, you know, it's just like, man, it's a real vibe. It's a real blessing to have a real friend. Because these friendships now are like quick, especially with this younger generation. Fire, they chilling for 2 weeks and they don't hear from each other. They just popping and popping and popping and popping and popping. Don't nobody really know nobody from childhood straight through right now and chill again. And then too, I want to mention one thing. I did mention growing out of people, but sometimes within friendships, you could grow out of each other and still have respect for each other's growth and still have that same bond despite different. Because I think the disconnect happens when the person doesn't want to accept your growth or starts to criticize your growth, but people can accept the path that they went on and still have a bond. Yeah, you're probably not going to chill every day, but you still have a respect for each other and still had that friendship and still had that genuine connection despite how your views may have changed or your lifestyles may have changed. So I just
real talk there,
I wanted to clear that up from earlier, you know?
Real talk there, talk fire, because I want to tell you, say, even if we go forward to the parenting reason, how we did the world the first time, as they say, the reason why that not go over with a lot of people, and straightforward, it is what it is. Because a lot of people have expectations, and you see the expectations with them having for them head, it never, them parent never meet the expectation they are, them family never meet the expectation they. And so now, when them see a reason like this now, it basically bring back the trauma there to them brain, and them don't really know how to deal with the trauma there. You see me, I say, it is what it is, that's the reality for you. And that's why I keep on and tell people, say, you can't have no expectation, it don't matter who it is for you. Even if somebody will have a good relationship with you, can't have a set expectation for that person. And it's not a overstanding between two parties direct for say, okay, this is the particular thing what me I go do, and then this are the particular thing what me I go receive, and then this are and vice versa, this are the thing what me I go give. So the expectation that what the people them have is that the people them need to cut out fire, because not because you come from a particular blood family, this blood family you're supposed to have the set expectation of them fire. There's no form of code nor no form of rule where say there is this particular thing where your family need to give to you just because you and them related. That does not make no sense at all. And then the next part I really want to talk about is energy. Energy, we don't really want to bypass the part of the thing there. Because most people don't understand, say it's like energy rule earth straight through. No matter what we do, energy rule earth. So you see, the people them who you are gonna love the most and who are gonna love you are because when they on the same frequency and at the same energy una portray. You see me I say? And then most times you're not gonna necessarily find your cousin or find say your brother, your blood brother or sister, or any one of them particular people if it just have the same energy where you are evoke. So the energy where you are evoke, you have to go out in the world and find the energy the way you cling to, you know. And then when you go out in the world and find the energy where you cling to, that sustain you and bring you in a fire. Because here Dennis Brown asks you must song example me, no man is an island, no man stands alone. Each man is his brother. You see me I say? So you have to understand, so him say no man is an island, and I try to show you say is really one is an ecosystem you have to get yourself into. And you have to farm your ecosystem, and you have to be a part of others' ecosystem. So in a talking about ecosystem, if you think about it now, they are the ecosystem where you farm from, the biological ecosystem where you farm from. But you know, farm from that, yeah, when I have DNA trait, but you have broke away from that now, you have to farm your own ecosystem. So when you farm your own ecosystem now, it's your energy invite who come in a your circle, you know. And that's why I'm tell people enough time, people always complain, boy. See, I mentioned it earlier too, where the whole friendship thing now is a fast-paced thing now, but that's because a whole heap of gossip. A lot of people now for them ecosystem, them invite gossip. And if you invite gossip on them thing in the ecosystem, guess what go on now? The friendship, them way I go create, them I go broke with faster because it never based on no solid foundation. So you see now, if you have an ecosystem where steady, and firm, that now I got invite people who are steady and firm. So you realize that the friends them where you have now, the reason why them become family because if you want a reasoning or if you want a real reasoning that can impact your life, them particular friends that can give it to you. And if you really want as somebody who are gonna be truthful to you regardless of the outcome, and them type of people I gonna give that to you. And that's why now you are in your ecosystem start build based off of that. So most people now overstand say fire. That are the main reason. That are the main basis of the reasoning to, why you can't just say our family can't just be blood, Family have to be beyond blood. It have to be something where it's just based on energy fire, because it's not everybody who you born in the same ecosystem there. I gotta have the same energy as you. And when you go out into the world, you gather them particular energies, then are them energies that guide you and lead you towards which part you want to go. Because remember, them not a preconceived notion of you, Anybody who you bring in a your circle, for them expectation of you would are different from somebody who you probably grew up with and face certain particular challenges with or have a problem with from that time, You see me I say? So when you and them start reasoning now, it's based on where you are currently, and which part you look for go. And then any history you would have share, it's because the energy would have done a line already if you only even come in contact with one another. So them type of thing that we are trying to show people, whereas a family is beyond blood fire, you can't really hold your blood them towards certain things. So say, oh, you never do this to me. Why you never do this to me and me and you are supposed to be blood family? No, nobody can just do something for you because you're not a blood family. People do things to you because them realize say you and them depend on the same divine part, and the divine part the way you and them depend, you can grow together, you can extend the thing. Probably if them do something for you right now. Not saying I really want to make this clear. Not saying that people are going to do things to you because them are look for something in return. But me I try to show you, so when the energies them really align, anytime one of your friends them way as well people that can really just want to differentiate, so when I confuse away as a family, your friends them will become your family. Seeing? When them do something for you, naturally it's because that ecosystem on a farm, it can be reciprocated. And it's not just reciprocated just out of the fact, say, yo, me I gotta do something for you, man, and later on, I'm gonna back something for me. No, as I mentioned, it's an energy. And the energy we want to create, we want to have different sets of resources. And them different sets of resources that we want to pull together, but know that we have a broader reach. And the broader reach that we really create the bond. And the broader reach doesn't have to be something where financially related or financially motivated. It just has to do with the energy again and the currency we want to give off to one another and receive from one another,
A serious thing. And last one I want to touch on in regards to the truthfulness aspect, right? So a lot of relationships are destroyed by the truth. And I don't know. I think we need to I don't know. We need to mature to where we can have truthful conversations. And like a lot of times with family fire, it's just like if you tell someone the truth, you like disband it. Something else I want to touch on in regards to the friendship. Maybe, right? Maybe the fact that, as you stated, the person meets you at this point of your life and, they can be on the journey full of growth. I don't know what it is, man. Like families struggle with you growing, bro. Especially on the type of family, And I wanted to throw this in there also, too, in regards to the type of environment parents create. A lot of parents create a toxic environment for their kids where it's constant competition that destroys their relationship. Because they're very strategic on who they give attention and nurture and love to. And that creates a lot of problems with the children. We got to factor in divorce and all those type of vibes, how it just creates like different vibes there. But parents play a big role in the relationships of the children. Sometimes children, you have to be on the heights to see what's going on and you can remedy it and work through it on your own. But parents create a lot of issues amongst the children, especially when they have a lot of children. Because they always have the favorite. They always have the one they don't like. That's the thing we need to speak about too, man, with this parenting thing for they have the favorite, they have the one they really don't like or for whatever reason. And that creates an issue on its own. Especially if it's like different mothers and fathers, different skin tones and different resources. It just gets real jumbled up in a ball of confusion. But the gist of the reason we need to walk away from is that not to say you should have an expectation for your family member, but accept your family member for who they are. And if they're not if they are not supportive of you, right? Not if you're doing foolishness. We asking people to support. I want to be clear. We're not asking people to support you absolutely when you're doing foolishness. I call you. But if you find they're not supporting you, you got to vibe. Bless their soul the same way and keep it moving and grooving. I'm telling you that acceptance is so liberating, instead of fighting with people, and you could pass through, you could go to an event, right? And just keep it moving. You don't have to lock yourself off and all that. I think by locking yourself off, unless it's so toxic, it shows how much they have control over you that you can't even be around them. Some people probably shouldn't be around because it's so toxic and y'all just on a different vibe. But a lot of times you can pass through and just, do your thing and keep it moving. But I think don't expect your family to be there fully supporting you, especially, it's weird, Far, and I know it's a cultural thing, but like, it seems the better you do, people don't like that, People don't like, and it's not even an economic vibe. It's just the fact that if you just looking good, you got a nice little family, or you don't have to be no great celebrity. Like, people just don't like seeing you do good, especially the ones closest to you. Especially if they can't benefit from it. If they're not benefiting from it, they got a vibe from it, So it's just the reality. Didn't Cain kill Abel? All right, I know we be cussing the Bible, but we gotta look at the Bible for the allegory stories. Whoever wrote it, whatever message they were trying to see, that's the thing with this thing. Everybody on this absolute interpretation and all this, a historical. No, if you look at it from a story of understanding man's behavior, all right, I think it's unique that they start out the story with this occurrence. So it must show you some vibe they was analyzing in regards to human interaction and family interaction. And a brother killed his brother. For whatever reason you want. It's a long list of people breaking down what this meant and this and that. It's the fact that he killed his brother.
Yeah, but check it out from get go still enough, but a long time brother kill a brother, a long time sister kill sister too, because
so, yeah, that's the blood brother too. Is not a friend. Like, they were brothers, and he killed them. So I don't know. I just look at the message and certain stuff, and it's a constant theme throughout. Even in Hollywood, many movies is very.
What heap of movies?
There's always conflict. There's always conflict between siblings, TV shows and that, and they really don't get down with each other. I would have to sit down and think about a show where siblings really, really got down with each other, because they're always at war. So I don't know if someone say, oh, they're doing it to disrupt the family. I don't know about all that. I think they just reflecting the true thing, because as I said, you just put here with these people. Yeah, we can say frequency in Paris and this and that. Regardless of this, it's just like, you didn't pick these people for it, and you may not necessarily get down with these people. So it is what it is. And if you have a great relationship with your siblings, man, give thanks for that and keep it going and keep it strong. And if you don't, it is what it is. It's just nothing there. It's nothing wrong. You're not a bad person. There's many people. I don't think it should be so bad to where it's like disrupts your life and, you don't have no negative energy towards them. It's just like, the love is there. You just don't get down with each other. Or sometimes it's just so much years of problems and hurt where it's just like, man, we just keep a distance, There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think you should be fighting and carrying on with each other. Just like let people be. I think that's the thing, Far. Let people be. Far, we can't even lie and say like, we can't even lie and say Hollywood painted this picture of siblings, because they haven't. So it's not like you're not meeting no standard, because there's no standard out there. I would have to sit down and find movies and TV shows where siblings were like this. They have friendships, but they're not siblings. They're not blood relatives from what I remember. So I'm not sure if you want to touch on anything else, Far Right, in regards to this one.
More on the flip side, more share the message to people still, You have in the best of to the best of your ability, you're supposed to still, you're supposed to try your best to ensure say you have a relationship, you foster a relationship with your blood family them to the best of your ability still, you know. So I'm really, because I know enough time the message can get misconstrued. So I'm really want send a direct message to people. If in a immediate family where you have, you know, or your blood family where you have, you know, try your best to foster a relationship where healthy, you know. And that me really want to emphasize, like, healthy relationships is something where you need to have, because them things they can lead to you developing even further and further. And that in itself to lead to lead to how you control your ecosystem. So when we talk about when the friend them come in, we become a family. Excuse me. So we really want to emphasize to them to foster. If you have your brother and your sister them, your cousin them, your mother and your father, your grandparents, anybody where at all we're related to you in a sense. If you can foster a healthy relationship, always try for foster a healthy relationship, because that says a lot, and it's something where really can come change the atmosphere, the current atmosphere where they're out there. So I'm really, I tell one of them to try foster that healthy relationship, and then make the ecosystem where you create after that with your friend and family. Your friend them will become family now. Strive off of the healthy relationship there, and you can, for generations to come, you can ensure so the things start improve. Because on a real still fair, in an idealistic world, would I love to be cool with all our blood family them and ensure so we and them on the same pace. But we just talk about how the reality is right now. So that's the message I'm reading. Because I know a lot of people when them listen to the reasoning to, them listening from different angles. So really want capture them people to where probably never angle that the thing to. I overstand say these healthy relationship, you try your best to foster them, but we're just talking about again being idealistic versus reality, which is the reason why we do the other day. It's just that in an ideal world, you'd allow for things straight all across the board. But then in the reality of things, yeah, everybody now got up on the same current day. And not because you and them don't up on the same current means say it's just a blacklist thing. But we just try to show you say it's the energy them are really faster towards you, the energy where people give you, the people that may give you the good energy, and them energy that you bring in and trap towards yourself and cling towards yourself and move with them people that will get energy. And then as we are say, most of the time the people them will give you that particular energy where you are look for. You're not blood. So that really want to show the people them fire say it's not just a case where or most time. Because I know people, you have examples out there where see good family people who are live together, they might eat together, they might hold back some joy together. But as we said, them cases they're rare. And even within the midst of that, you're not supposed to be bounded to just after being so loyal to these particular people because they're blood. Let's say your loyalty is supposed to be towards people who loyal towards you. And that relationship is that when it reciprocated, it can always be something where a benefit you again, not from the sense that you will be doing anything just for a benefit, but something where you know so it can go two ways. People who can strengthen you and people who you can strengthen. And those are the people we classify as family. Family is people who did it for you, and people who you were there for. People who give the good energy, people who tell you the truth, people who strengthen you and not try to be a fanboy or a fangirl of you. But no, say I just the energy that them a give where we can lead and propel you towards success. As we say, success is not something with just financial. Success is just more like the direction where you want to go, the visions, and where you want to have, or you have to fulfill all of these particular visions, you know?
Serious thing. And last thing I want to say, I learned this being in education because they throw out a lot of words, right? We're not going to do it this episode, but we probably should have a podcast on what's a good relationship. Because remember, a good relationship to some people is one-sided. Basically, you get what I'm saying? Or basically you agree, or they're basically abusing you, accept it. So I think we have to clarify for people what a good relationship is. And unfortunately, a lot of people haven't been exposed to a good relationship. So if we remember Far Right, maybe we need to do a part 2 of this in regards to the good relationship aspect, because that is a key thing. People say the word and people don't understand. Like a lot of people's idea of a good relationship is actually very toxic and very detrimental to those around them, right? So we give thanks for the reason. We give thanks for everyone tuned in. Hopefully you pick up that phone and call a family member, call your parents, tell them you love them, call a brother, sister. Those who treat you like trash or the vibe's not there, hopefully you think about it and just think of ways to, reconsider the relationship and kind of distance yourself. I don't think you should be exposed to any form of abuse or harsh treatment or toxic environments. You're better than that. Life is short. No time for that. Love them same way. You can love them from a distance. It's okay to love people from a distance, Rari. I do it all the time.
Bucks, street bucks.
I do it all the time, right? I love people the same way. I don't have nothing bad to say about them, Rari. It's just love from a distance, if there's something vital where we need to talk about, yes, outside of that, you go your way, I go my way, love same way, if you get free time, make sure you check us out. INeverKnewTV.com. We have a special guest come in that's very special, so pretty sure you'll enjoy it, but you have to tune in to get it. And we give thanks for everybody supporting the thing for those times. So now make sure you check out Far Right EP Disrupting the Status Quo in the description. And everyone stay safe. And as I said, pick up that phone, call your parents, call your father, call your mother, even if you're not on the best terms. If it's not totally destroyed, call them, get a little vibe, keep it moving and grooving.